Have you ever noticed how much of your energy disappears in arguments that lead nowhere? You start by wanting to prove your point, but somehow you end up feeling drained mentally, emotionally, spiritually. We've all been there, trapped in endless back and forths that steal our peace without giving us anything in return. But here's something Buddhism teaches us. True strength doesn't come from proving you're right. It comes from not needing to prove anything at all. The real power lies in what I call the art of non-reaction. Now, don't mistake this for indifference. It's not about pretending you don't care. It's about choosing your peace over pointless battles. It's understanding that not every word deserves a response, not every opinion deserves your energy, and not every conflict deserves your presence. Think about it like this. When someone throws a stone into a calm lake, the water ripples for a moment, but then it returns to stillness. The lake doesn't hold on to the disturbance. It doesn't fight back. It simply lets the ripples fade away. That's what it means to master the power of ignoring wisely, to stay calm in the middle of noise, to protect your peace even when the world tries to disturb it. Because the moment you stop reacting to every small provocation, you begin to take your power back. You're no longer a puppet controlled by other people's emotions. You become the mountain that no wind can move, the ocean that remains vast, no matter how big the wave. And that's where true freedom begins, not outside of you, but inside. The freedom of knowing that nothing anyone says or does can shake your inner calm. So, the next time someone tries to pull you into their storm, remember this. You don't have to join them. You can simply smile, stay still, and let their noise pass like wind through the trees. That's not weakness, that's wisdom, and it's one of the most powerful forms of strength you'll ever have. 1. The trap of reaction. Have you ever noticed how quickly we react? When someone criticizes or provokes us, it's almost automatic, like a spark meeting gasoline. From childhood, we've been taught that standing up for ourselves means responding immediately, proving we're right, defending our pride. But in truth, that very impulse is the trap of reaction. A subtle prison built by the ego. Every time you react in anger, frustration, or defensiveness, you hand over your inner peace to someone else. You give them the remote control to your emotions. Think about it. If a stranger can ruin your day with just a few words, who's really in control? It's not them. It's your reaction. Buddhist wisdom teaches that real strength doesn't come from fighting back. It comes from not needing to. Silence isn't weakness, it's mastery. The wise know that reacting often feeds the fire, while stillness allows the flames to die on their own. When you stay silent, you're not surrendering. You're reclaiming your power. You're saying, my peace is too valuable to trade for this moment of chaos. This doesn't mean you suppress your feelings or ignore injustice. It means you choose when, how, and whether to engage from a place of clarity, not ego. There's a deep difference between responding with awareness and reacting out of impulse . One arises from wisdom, the other from fear. So the next time someone tries to provoke you, imagine your emotions as waves hitting the shore. You can either fight the tide and exhaust yourself, or stand firm and let the waves break on their own. When you master the art of not reacting, you begin to taste true freedom, the kind of peace no one can take from you. In that stillness, you'll realize it's never about proving you're right. It's about staying rooted in peace when the world around you shakes. And that is the real victory. 2. The ego's illusion. Have you ever noticed how most arguments aren't really about truth? They're about pride. We don't fight to understand each other. We fight to protect our ego. Deep down, the ego has one mission: to prove I'm right and you're wrong. And every time we fall into that trap, we lose something far more precious than an argument. We lose our peace. The ego is clever. It whispers, don't let them disrespect you. Don't back down. You must defend yourself. Asterisk. But when you pause and look deeper, you'll see that this voice isn't strength. It's fear. Wearing a mask. Fear of being seen as weak. Fear of being wrong. Fear of being unseen. Yet the moment you stop feeding that fear, you begin to taste something powerful: freedom. Buddhism teaches that true victory doesn't come from defeating others, but from conquering the self. When you no longer need to be right, no one can hurt you. Their words lose power because your worth is no longer tied to their approval. That's when real confidence appears quiet, unshakable, and deeply peaceful. It takes wisdom to realize that letting go of the need to win times isn't losing. Asterisk. It's choosing peace over chaos. Imagine being in a storm. The ego wants to scream back at the thunder, but the wise simply step inside and close the door. The storm will pass. It always does. So the next time you feel the urge to prove a point, ask yourself, what am I really defending? My truth or my ego? If it's your ego, smile and let it go. You'll feel lighter instantly. Because every time you choose peace over pride, silence over proving, understanding over reaction, you win the most important battle of all. That's the quiet triumph the Buddha spoke of. Not the victory of words, but the victory of self. And once you've tasted that kind of freedom, you'll never want to go back. 3. The art of non-response. Have you ever watched a calm lake after someone throws a stone into it? For a moment, the water ripples, but soon, it returns to perfect stillness. That's exactly how a peaceful mind works. Life will always throw stones, words, judgments, anger, misunderstandings. But when your heart is calm, nothing can disturb its depth for long. We live in a world that glorifies quick reactions. Someone insults you, you clap back. Someone disagrees you, argue harder. But the truth is, reacting instantly doesn't make us strong. It only proves we've lost control. When you pause, instead of reacting, when you breathe instead of attacking, you take back your power. That's the art of non-response, the quiet strength that turns chaos into clarity. Buddhist wisdom teaches that silence isn't weakness, it's mastery. When someone throws anger at you, they want a reaction that's their fuel. But when you refuse to give it, their fire burns out. You're not ignoring them. You're transforming the moment. You're saying, I choose peace over pride. And that choice shifts everything. Think of silence as a shield, not a wall that blocks others out, but a gentle armor that protects your inner peace. It allows you to hear words without absorbing their poison, to witness chaos without letting it enter your heart. You become like the calm center of a storm, still, grounded, unshaken. Non-response doesn't mean you never speak up. It means you speak only when your words can create peace, not when they feed conflict. It's about acting with awareness instead of reacting from emotion. It's the space between impulse and action, that tiny, sacred pause where wisdom lives. So next time someone tries to drag you into their storm, don't fight the waves. Be the lake. Let the ripples fade. Let your stillness speak louder than any argument ever could. Because in that silence, you'll find the truest form of power, the kind that doesn't need to prove anything, the kind that simply times is. Asterisk. 4. When to speak and when to stay silent. Have you ever said something in the heat of the moment, only to regret it seconds later? Words, once spoken, can't be taken back. They can heal, or they can wound. They can bring peace, or they can burn bridges that took years to build. That's why the Buddha taught something timeless. Asterisk. Before you speak, ask yourself, is it true? Is it necessary? Is it kind? We live in a world where everyone wants to be heard, but very few stop to listen. Silence feels uncomfortable, so we fill it with opinions, judgments, or reactions. But here's the truth. Not every thought deserves to become a word. Not every emotion needs to be expressed. Speaking wisely is an one that requires more awareness than any argument ever could. When your words come from the ego, they often carry the energy of defense, pride, or the need to control. But when they come from awareness, they carry compassion, calmness, and understanding. There's a vast difference between speaking to be right and speaking to bring peace. Buddhist wisdom reminds us that silence isn't always the answer, but it's often the best starting point. When your mind is calm, you can see clearly whether your words will plant seeds of peace or seeds of pain. And sometimes, the most powerful thing you can say is nothing at all. Imagine your words like stones you place on the path ahead. Each one can either make the road smoother for others or create obstacles, so speak with care. Pause before responding. Let your words come from your heart, not from your wounds. Ask yourself, does this need to be said? Will it help someone? Will it add light or take it away? If your answer is yes, speak, but do it with love. If not, stay silent and let your calmness do the talking. Because in the end, wisdom isn't about having the right words. It's about knowing when to use them, And when you master that balance between speech and silence, you don't just change conversations, you change the energy of every room you walk into. 5. Strategies to avoid conflict. Conflict is a natural part of life, but how we handle times, it defines our peace. You've probably been there. A heated conversation, voices rising, your heart pounding. In that moment, your ego screams, "Defend yourself! Don't let them win!" But reacting with emotion only pulls you deeper into the fire. The real strength lies in responding with calm, clarity, and sometimes even a little humor. When tension builds, remember this simple truth: not every battle deserves your energy. The Buddha taught that peace isn't found by avoiding life's storms, but by learning how to stand still in the rain. Instead of answering anger with anger, try using reason, empathy, or silence. A calm response disarms chaos. It stops the emotional loop before it spins out of control. Sometimes, all it takes is a gentle phrase, "I understand your point of view," or "Let's talk when we're both calmer." These words don't mean you're giving up. They mean you value peace more than pride. You're not surrendering, you're choosing to rise above. Because once you stop feeding the fire, it burns itself out. Humor, too, can be a secret weapon. A lighthearted comment can dissolve tension faster than any argument. It reminds both sides that we're just human, imperfect, emotional, trying to be understood. When you can laugh times with someone, instead of fighting times against them, you shift the energy from defense to connection. Buddhist wisdom reminds us that every conflict is a mirror. It reflects what we still cling to: control, validation, the need to be right. When you choose calmness over reaction, you're not just managing conflict, you're healing something deeper within yourself. You're teaching your mind that peace matters more than being right. So next time someone tries to pull you into their storm, pause, breathe, smile if you can, say, "I hear you," then walk away with your dignity intact and your peace untouched. Because the greatest victory isn't in winning the argument, it's in walking away knowing that nothing outside you can disturb the calm within. 6. The freedom of not getting hooked. Have you ever noticed how easily we get pulled into other people's storms? Someone criticizes us and suddenly our mood changes. Someone praises us and we're floating on air. It's as if our peace depends entirely on what others say or do. But there's a deeper kind of freedom, one that begins when we stop taking the bait. When we're no longer shaken by other people's opinions, something powerful happens inside us: emotional freedom. It's the moment you realize you don't have to attend every argument you're invited to. Imagine someone throwing a hook into the water: anger, gossip, judgment, but you simply don't bite. That's real strength. No one can drag you into their chaos if you keep your door closed. The Buddha taught that when the mind is still, the world can no longer control you. You see things clearly without reacting blindly. Instead of chasing validation or defending your pride, you rest in awareness, calm, balanced, unbothered. It's not indifference, it's wisdom. You choose peace over reaction, clarity over confusion. Think of it like standing in the middle of a storm, but not getting wet. The wind howls, the rain falls, but your inner space remains untouched. That's the power of an unshaken heart. The world will always have noise, criticism, praise, opinions, but none of that has to touch the peace within you unless you let it. So next time someone tries to pull you into their drama, smile gently and stay centered. You're not cold or distant, you're free. You've learned the art of not being hooked, and in that space of stillness, peace becomes your natural state. 7. Cultivating an unshakable mind. A steady mind isn't something you're born with, it's something you train, moment by moment. Think of it like strengthening a muscle. Every time life throws a challenge at you, you get a chance to build emotional resilience. Through meditation, self-observation, and the gentle art of letting go, you slowly develop the power to stay centered, even when the world feels like it's spinning. Meditation teaches you to sit with your thoughts instead of being swept away by them. When anger rises, you breathe and watch it, knowing it will pass. When fear whispers, you recognize it without obeying it. Over time, this practice turns reaction into reflection. You begin to see emotions not as enemies, but as teachers guiding you toward balance. Equally important is learning to choose your environment wisely. The people you spend time with, the information you absorb, the spaces you inhabit, all of these shape your mental weather. Protect your peace like you would tend a garden. Remove weeds, nurture what helps you grow, and allow yourself space to breathe. An unshakable mind doesn't mean you never feel pain or doubt. It means you can feel deeply without losing your ground. The waves of life still come, but instead of being tossed around, you learn to surf them with grace. That's true mastery, not control over the world, but harmony within yourself. So each day, take a few quiet moments. Breathe, observe, release. Every breath you take, without reacting, is a small victory. And little by little, those moments become your foundation until one day you realize that no matter what happens outside, your peace remains untouched. That's the power of an unshakable mind. 8. The power of humor and lightness. Not every problem in life deserves a heavy heart. Sometimes, the most powerful response isn't anger, resistance, or frustration. It's a simple smile. When we learn to smile in the middle of a challenge, we shift the entire energy of the moment. What once felt like a wall suddenly becomes a doorway. That's the quiet power of humor and lightness. It doesn't deny life's difficulties. It transforms how we meet them. Think about it. When something goes wrong, most of us tighten up our shoulders, rise, our breath shortens, our mind races. But if you pause, take a breath, and allow yourself to see the absurdity of the situation, even just a little, something magical happens. Your mind relaxes. You regain perspective. You remember that life isn't meant to be carried like a burden, but danced with like a partner. Humor doesn't mean making fun of pain. It means remembering that you are bigger than your problems. A laugh, even a small one, is a reminder that your spirit is still free, that you can face the storm without becoming the storm. The Buddha once said that a calm mind is stronger than any weapon, and sometimes calm begins with a smile. So the next time life throws you a curveball, try this. Before reacting, smile not because it's funny, but because you refuse to let negativity control you. Smile as an act of rebellion against chaos. Smile because peace is your choice, not your circumstance. In that gentle lightness, your mind becomes flexible, creative, alive. You begin to see possibilities instead of problems. And that's where true strength lies, not in being unbreakable, but in being able to bend with grace. Sometimes, the strongest people are the ones who can laugh softly, even when life gets hard. Not every problem in life deserves a heavy heart. Sometimes, the most powerful response isn't anger, resistance, or frustration. It's a simple smile. When we learn to smile in the middle of a challenge, we shift the entire energy of the moment. What once felt like a wall suddenly becomes a doorway. That's the quiet power of humor and lightness. It doesn't deny life's difficulties. It transforms how we meet them. Think about it. When something goes wrong, most of us tighten up our shoulders, rise, our breath shortens, our mind races. But if you pause, take a breath, and allow yourself to see the absurdity of the situation, even just a little, something magical happens. Your mind relaxes. You regain perspective. You remember that life isn't meant to be carried like a burden, but danced with like a partner. Humor doesn't mean making fun of pain. It means remembering that you are bigger than your problems. A laugh, even a small one, is a reminder that your spirit is still free, that you can face the storm without becoming the storm. The Buddha once said that a calm mind is stronger than any weapon, and sometimes calm begins with a smile. So the next time life throws you a curveball, try this. Before reacting, smile not because it's funny, but because you refuse to let negativity control you. Smile as an act of rebellion against chaos. Smile because peace is your choice, not your circumstance. In that gentle lightness, your mind becomes flexible, creative, alive. You begin to see possibilities instead of problems. And that's where true strength lies, not in being unbreakable, but in being able to bend with grace. Sometimes the strongest people are the ones who can laugh softly, even when life gets hard.